I was so dumb, but I hopped on a plane, almost drove right back to the 541. Shitty U-turn on the freeway, you turn me from a fiend to a way to your fun. I can wait in the sun for a little, but it's been real gray, and tonight it's a nice C1. I can wait in the cold for a while.
Do we want to have any?
I was gonna ask you guys that. Like, I'm kind of like unsure about how to tackle it because.
Well.
Yeah, go for it. You know
what? No, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No. I'm just like, I think a lot of people are like, as was the case in 2016. I think there's like people who are like genuinely afraid right now, and I don't want to like make light of that, you know. And so I don't really know how to go about. I think what I'll say is this time around, I think people are way less surprised. I think people are way more burnt out on all of it. And I think you mentioned it in the Discord. I think the reaction, I think a couple people did. The reaction is way more low key this time around than it has been the last like 3 elections, you know?
Well, Hillary's had a reaction. There was, the classic, the right wingers love the picture of like a women like crying.
Yeah.
When Trump won.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I feel like with this one, there are two like major prongs here. Is Kamala was given 90 days to campaign, basically, right? You have to be so in the tank on the Democratic side to be like, that's not going to work. Like, that's just off the top. If you want to be a partisan hack, or just partisan, I shouldn't say hack, but if you want to be deeply partisan, but sure, but that's not the point of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, I know.
For any of this is she had no chance. No one would have had a chance in 90 days, right? It wasn't going to happen. It could have been, and people are like, well, I just couldn't vote for her because she didn't go through a primary. If Joey B, old Joseph Robin A. Biden, had dropped out 18 months ago, or, said he wasn't going to run again, okay, there could have been a ramp up period, and it could have been a fair, lengthy process. It wasn't going to happen on July 22nd or whatever, when it was very clear his brains were a Thanksgiving side, right? Okay. Love Joey, hate Joey. We can agree that debate, he crashed out, as the kids say. But also, for me, I never thought Kamala was going to win, except for maybe like a 2-day period around the debate, because she swamped old Donald in the debate. Okay. But also, debates don't matter. And people have said that before that debate. And debates, they don't really matter. Okay?
No, it was pretty clear that like nothing he said at any point mattered, which is very interesting too.
But also, I kind of looked at it as, so Donald left office as COVID was just, you know what I mean? Oof, right? And so what Joey and Kamala did, narrowing that down, because obviously every president has a bazillion people around them. They avoided a recession. We were in a vibe session for 2+ years where we're always in a recession, but the numbers never showed we were in a recession. But there was pain.
I like that term though, vibe session.
It was though. We were in a vibe session, even until probably 8-9 months ago. We were in a vibe session. People still say the recession's going to hit, and it isn't, and it didn't. Yeah. So you got to give them credit for that, right? But by doing that, inflation was still at fucking 9% in 2022, right? It's at 2% now. Unemployment's at 4%. The Dow is 42,000 or whatever. And is the stock market the economy? No, it's really not. But it's a marker. Donnie used it, in his time. Kamala and Joe can use it now. But the thing is no one was going to run the incumbent, whether, obviously Donald couldn't run again if he had won it in 2020, but no one was going to win it this time, no matter what the number said, because you entered when it was really dark. And as you incrementally improved stuff very slowly, there was the darkness. Like, I don't care how liberal, blue, we can't pretend like 2021 into 2022 we're still kind of
like it was good. Yeah,
like it was just it was dark. And like we can make fun of the eggs, the prices of eggs, and some of that shit totally disingenuous. When Trump goes up there and says, what was gas prices 4 years ago? Yeah, we know why the gas prices were $1.60, because everyone was at home because of a pandemic, right? And there's only so much grace you can extend to anyone who gets you out of that, unless everyone at the other side has some $1 million jackpot, which is totally fantasy, right? They weren't going to win. They could not win, because no matter, we still remember that period in 2021, 2022, for the last year plus, they've been perfectly fine. It's been fine. But people, hey, milk and eggs became a meme for a year. And gas. Can't beat it. You can't beat it. And she didn't beat it. And I'm not smart enough to be like, well, if they went on the Aiden Ross podcast, no. Shit, man. I don't think that shit mattered either. I kind of said she probably should have gone on the Rogan podcast, because he's a soft interviewer. He was never going to endorse her. Go on it. But otherwise, she wasn't going to win. She didn't win. Okay. We could go on forever about what happens in the next 4 years. That's not what we're here to do. And I don't think any one of us want doom and gloom over that or celebrate that. We're just factually, it'll happen.
Yeah.
We'll get out on the other side.
I think that's what my kid was scared, and so that's sort of one of the messages I talked to my kid about. I was like, you know what? Like, he has been president before, and here we are, right? Like, we're okay, and we're gonna be okay in 4 years too. Like, I promise you. Like, it's easy to forget as we get like in our daily news cycle lives and opening Twitter and doing all these things. It's easy to forget how many times we've actually been in this exact position before, not with Trump, but like with somebody else. And like we've done this before. We're the United States of America. The United States of America goes in cycles, and sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's red. I can guarantee you one thing: every single time we completely forget about what happened 4 or 8 years ago. Every single time.
Oh yeah, every time.
That is the most consistent thing about our country. I think like my big takeaway from this one is, and you mentioned it, like not enough time, and that was really proven in the numbers, right? Like, because Trump's base didn't change at all. Like, he had exactly the same numbers that he had against Biden. Like, the exact same people voted for him that voted for him 4 years ago. The difference is Kamala had like 15 million fewer votes than Biden did,
which is a big deal.
It's a big deal, and so I don't know. I don't care who. I don't know who you want to blame for that. Maybe it's like the Democratic Party. Maybe it's Biden for running for re-election in the first place when he knew he probably shouldn't have. I don't know, but like that's it. It's the same people who voted for Biden did not vote this time around. They just didn't vote. Period. And that's it. Like that's a good way to lose, man. It is what it is.
And it's hard for us three to complain. I mean, we're three straight white males.
Amen.
For us personally, it doesn't matter who's the fucking president for us at all, really. But yeah, it's everyone. It would be anyone else in your life is the difference.
And it sounds cheesy. But allies, right? Like that's our position. Like as white straight males, that's our position, right? Is we gotta be there for our people who are not white straight males, and if they are feeling threatened, then you know what? Help them. That's it.
Okay. like I said,
best we can do.
Really, Trump can't hurt us personally. So it's like,
yeah.
And if anyone is out there like super scared, Trump, he's not good at passing policy. He'll have all three, branches of the executive. He
actually is now. Yeah, he's going to be in a position where he can.
I mean, the Supreme Court is a activist court at this point, but whatever. He wasn't good at passing policy in 16 to 20. He'll be marginally better now. Some of that shit will not have it's the doom. If you're a doomsday person who's like super like, it will be fine. And I feel even dramatic even just saying that, but I know people that freak out, and the same people, and here's the kicker, is a lot of people that are like, haha, you liberal beta cucks. We saw what they did after the 2020 election. We don't need to go into what they did on maybe, the 6th day of January or anything. But you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. Yeah. That's not happening. Yeah. At a certain point on the other side of the political scale, it's not, apathy is not the right word. But they'll be fine. And if you're a hardcore Democrat, I'm sure they'll find someone in a few years. I don't know who it is. I don't know who it is. I'm not that smart. I'm a fucking political scientist, but whatever. And Trump won't run again, and people will say, "Oh, we'll have no more elections." Calm down. And
we also got to factor in good news for us, since we are a right-wing podcast. I mean, we got 4 years of money makers for us, fellas.
Yeah,
I mean, this is where we fucking jump in bigger and better and make a fucking boatload.
So that election,
the whole thing.
That election made our decision for us. Like now, 4 more years, right? Yeah.
Before we move on, and we should move on,
we're gonna be in our 50s.
Yeah.
But, at what point at the night were you like, "Oh, it's over"?
Yeah.
Like it's over. Because for me,
I detached. I was not following it at all. Like I did not want to put myself in that position, like anxiety wise. Like, so I didn't.
I think by like 6:30, when they were showing Pennsylvania and Michigan numbers and Wisconsin numbers, I was like, oh,
it seemed early.
It's
right?
over. Yeah, I was like, it's done. Like that was over. Oh, she was done.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching MAC football, so I'm not sure who was really. I might have been the loser of the night. What happened to watch MAC football?
Well, yeah, MAC football is worse than watching.
I think if there's something we've learned, it's that under no circumstances whatsoever will this country vote for a woman to be its leader.
Oh,
like,
sure,
no circumstances whatsoever, because he's a shitty candidate. Like he lost last time. He's the worst like social candidate maybe in the history of our country, and yet he won by a lot. Like it wasn't even close. So
I did see a lot of things of all Trump could do is just beat up on women, because all I could do is beat Hillary and beat Kamala, but lose to Joe. That's
the one thing about just how we do elections that I think is funny is how, in 2020, I think Biden won the popular vote by like 4 million, right?
He had 81 million.
And in those Rust Belt states in the Big Ten, it was like 150,000 votes that decided it, right? And people are like, man, that was a razor close election. Razor close. Oh my God, he almost lost. And this year, Trump will win the popular vote by 1 million-ish votes, maybe. California is very slow to tabulate their stuff. Let's say 1.2 million, just making up a number. And in those same states, he will win by like roughly the same margin, and we're like blowout. Just landslide. Like I understand it's just a funny way to we in this country frame elections going forward. And because the popular vote doesn't matter. But it is just funny how it's like, oh shit, this one was over early. Done. Where technically 4 years ago, the other candidate won by 4 million more total votes. And about the same in the Rust Belt, and it was razor close.
Which, by the way, remember Al Gore? Like Al Gore,
oh, yeah.
Al Gore like won the popular vote. He was like not really losing by that much, and he conceded like at 8:00 at night. It's like he's like, "Oh yeah, I got this is over."
And that internet to get on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, "I just invented this thing called the internet."
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah.
No. Oh, look at this transition.
Speaking
the
of
election
cycles.
was pretty much like a Duck football game. Just at first half, you knew it was over. It didn't matter how much Kamala could try to claw back in the second half. It was done.
Yeah, Trump had a 3-score lead and didn't really need to do much in the second half.
Just out of the ball.
Pretty much.
Just,
Yeah.
You don't need to score in the third quarter. You're good. Play defense.
All right. I'm gonna start the official.
Are we gonna have Social Security when we're older?
I know, or Medicare. Like, yeah, like for real, that might not be a thing now. So as much as we're like downplaying it, like he might actually change some like fundamental things that were like invented by FDR, like that might go away now.
Can you imagine being the first like group of people that are older where they're just like, oh yeah, sorry,
right, yeah,
sorry, Zayden.
I know, like,
sorry, Zayden.
That was
there's
like
no more Social Security.
It's funny. One of the first
funny.
things I thought about is like all these old whites who voted for him like vehemently. Now they're gonna not have health insurance and they're gonna not have Social Security because he's gonna gut it. It's like, all right, dude, okay, have fun. Like, no, but the economy's gonna be good now, right? Okay. All right. We'll see how it goes for you. Okay.
I, for one, want Social Security.
I do too. I've been paying into it for like my whole adult life. Like, I want it. Give it. Give it back.
Is that like pretty much the only good thing about being old?
Yeah. No, getting health insurance.
Money and
health insurance at 65 and getting all your money back. Like, totally. Yeah. That's the point. Oh man, they're gonna be so mad when that Social Security goes away. Oh, they're gonna be so mad.
I'll be livid.
Oh my god,
I can already see it. Like, oh my god, I'm only like 24 years away from it. Please come back. Don't leave. Please. Don't leave. Screw my kids. That's fine.
Yeah, I'll be long gone.
I'll be a Barron Trump voter at that point. Who the fuck cares?
Oh boy. All right, we ready for sports?
Sports!
Ooh. Welcome to the podcast. Alex King Ski. Twitch.tv/abrog87 is where we do this every Thursday, 7:30. You can watch us do the podcast live. Get in the chat. We only have WCP in the chat. I think people are like not super stoked this week, and so they're not in the chat this week. Or maybe they like Wednesdays better because last week was
it's
crazy.
Maryland week.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Join our Discord, Sports Brewery in Discord. You can, if you need an invitation to that, we'll send it to you. It lets us. You can give us our list ideas in there, our movie podcast ideas once a month. You can give us our movie suggestions in there. Sports Brewery in Discord. Join that. If you miss our streams, I post them on YouTube. So you can just search for Sports Brewery on YouTube. There's a playlist. You can watch all our segments in there. Good stuff. WCP suggesting to start a Roth IRA right now. Mm-hmm. Yep. Agreed. Good idea. Do that.
How are the Ravens up 28?
28-21? Well, because
it's just 21-14. What the hell happened?
Because Cincinnati's a textbook case of fraud. Yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah. Stinks. Oh, by the way, Jamar Chase just got a touchdown, so now it's tied.
No!
Like an 80-yard touchdown pass. Literally, as you're saying that. Jamar Chase standing at the 1-yard line for like 10 seconds because there's no defenders there. That was awesome.
I will say, I don't really give a shit about the game, but I do kind of hope the Bengals win. Only so I can tune into like First Take and whatever tomorrow to be like, see Stephen A. Smith, Dick, listen. I know the Ravens are 6-4. I get it. Come on, man. Oh, it's my Joe Biden. Come on, man. Come on, man. Get together.
Come on, man.
Let's get together.
Come on, man.
But it'll be like, oh, I know, but Lamar MVP. MVP. I love when we get to a point in the season where I know quarterback wins aren't a stud.
This is serious, folks.
They're like 5-5. They're like MVP still. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing.
Because the Bengals win, Burrow's going to get MVP talk.
Yeah.
And they'll have like a 500 record as we can see Thanksgiving weekend.
Then, as usual, would you be scared of the Ravens at all in the playoffs?
No, scared of the Bengals, not scared of the Ravens.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't give a shit about either of these teams. Saturday Night Live is going to be like kind of a bummer moving forward because we've already had like a billion years of of Trump on SNL, and we just got Maya Rudolph back and Dana Carvey back and Andy Samberg back, like there, and what's his face? Gaffigan. Yeah, those guys are gone. Gaffigan is gone. Gaffigan is gone.
He gone.
He gone. Like Waltz was like boy, ask anybody 2 years from now about Waltz. And
Waltz was a comet in the sky.
Yeah, what? Who is that? Oh yeah, Gaffigan was on Saturday Night Live. That's right.
Did you guys know who Tim Walz was on July 19th?
No, of course not. Like what? I barely know who he is now. And I heard him on Smartless, for God's sake.
I just know he ate corn dogs at fairs. Good for him.
Coach football coach. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. I love, by the way, like both like president and vice president candidate for the Dems were like super duper gun owners, like for maybe the first time ever.
No,
like Kamala, like she's from Oakland, dog. She's packing heat. Like she's got it in the glove compartment. Like, and Waltz is like a lifelong hunter. It's like, come on, man. She's like, I love that she's talking to Oprah. Like, I don't even lock up my gun. Like, I got it. I'm strapped. Like, you want to see it? Here we are. Okay. Oregon beat. Oh, no. Before we get there, movie on Sunday. We do have that movie podcast. It is this Sunday. We watched Bad Boys Ride or Die. Bad Boys 4. Came out this year, and it's on Netflix currently. So watch Bad Boys 4 and listen to us talk about it on Sunday. Okay. Oregon beat Michigan 38-17. It was not close. Michigan is really bad on offense. Oregon is still pretty damn good on defense. And I have some numbers to back that up now of where they sit currently in the season. But it wasn't really competitive. Like
there was a heartbeat there in the second half where it's like, a duck turnover or something like that, and all of a sudden it's 4-point game, but it would have taken the Ducks shooting themselves in the foot to make it a game.
It's crazy. This is how good Oregon is, because I felt somewhat like you at points in this game where I'm like, oh yeah, Michigan's like actually pretty close. Like, like a thing goes here or there. Like Michigan could actually make a game of that. Like I left this game, like I even said it in the Discord. I'm like, Michigan has to feel good about how Davis Warren played, like they've had such bad quarterback play. Like, boy, he looked pretty good. All right. Let's see how good.
Should not touch the football.
Let's see how good Davis Warren was. Let's see how good Davis Warren was in this football game. 12 of 21 for 164 yards, 2 touchdowns, but 12 of 21, and one of those touchdowns came off a turnover. Like 12 of 21, 164 yards is not a good game. It is
best game for a Michigan quarterback all year.
He did not turn the ball over. That was kind of the only thing. Yeah. If he could complete some passes and not turn the ball over, I think Michigan fans thought it wasn't going to be a rout. And it wasn't a rout in the end.
Michigan had 270 total yards against the Ducks. Yeah. This game wasn't close. Like,
is it weird how? I mean, you can look at a metric now and be like, Oregon has a borderline top 10 defense in the country, right?
I have numbers.
Is it weird that they still don't get turnovers?
Never get turnovers.
Right? They never get year 1, year 2, year 3. Like last year, they were like number 9 in turnover differential, and it's because they only had 5 turnovers the entire year. Like they only forced like 14, which is
are they even plus? Are they plus turnovers?
They have to be.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. Dylan has 5 picks.
Yeah, they don't
How
really
many
fumble
fumbles
it.
that they lost?
Herbert had a fumble, like
return.
Oh, yeah. Herbert,
Couple.
Gabriel, Pelham. So that's 3, so 8. So they got to be close, I would assume. Yeah, you're right.
They might be. It might only have 7 turnovers.
Where's Steve Kornacki to
right?
Yeah. So I did get some season total numbers, just some ones that stood out to me. I looked up NCAA.com and looked up the team stats. So Oregon currently, after the Michigan game, is 11th in the country in yards per game defense and also yards per game offense. They are 2nd in the country in third down offense, which, by the way,
yeah.
You want to tell why a team is undefeated. Third down conversions on offense is a really good way to win football games. 10th in scoring defense as well. So 15.78 points per game they're giving up defensively. So, again, yards per game defense, 11th. Points per game in defense, 10th. They are one of the best defenses in the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you say do you have their run defense?
I do not. I didn't write that one down.
I mean, that has to be easily inside the top 10. I mean,
yeah, I remember looking it up. It wasn't as good as you'd think. Like, I think
because of the Boise game.
Yeah,
Boise, the one.
Yes, I think it was like 124 yards per game rushing, which I think was like 30th or something like that.
Really?
So again, like, I think, and I think it's relative because there are other defenses in the country. By the way, like Texas defensively is like nuts this year. But like there are other defenses in the country who are just better. And that's not saying Oregon's bad. It's just saying there are other defenses who are better at it.
Oregon is 38th in the nation in run defense at 121.4 yards a game.
Yeah, I remember looking at it and being like, "Oh yeah," because that's why I looked it up. I was like, Oregon doesn't give up rushing yards. Like Donovan Edwards had like 50 rushing yards, was Michigan's leader. Like, what Michigan can't pass, so you would think they would run the ball against Oregon, and they didn't. It was like 108 yards or something.
That's all you need in this. All you need in this conference is a good run defense, because there are almost no quarterbacks that you're scared of to beat you.
Even the Pac-12 schools can't throw. Like UCLA was garbage. Like USC sucks. Washington.
Can I give you some teams that are top 10 in rush defense? Just because it kind of shows.
Like Army. I think Army was one, right?
Army's one of them. I'm not going to pretend that I've watched Army. UTSA, SMU, Miami. You want to know why Miami doesn't give up a lot of rushing yards?
They give up a lot of passing yards.
Everyone just throws on.
Yeah.
Cal is in the top 10. Kansas State's in the top 10. UCLA closes out. UCLA at 100 yards a game given up closes out the top 10. So, just saying, sometimes these stats, the raw stats, can be a little.
Give me that total defense. Give me that total defense. Exactly.
Because UTSA is number 2 in the nation in rushing defense. Who would you rather try to run the ball against? Yeah. UTSA or Oregon? If you're just a generic team.
Maybe go up against one of the best interior linemen in the country.
Right. Yeah. But,
So, big takeaway from this game is the Tez Johnson injury. Again, the game wasn't close. Like Oregon won by a lot. Which by the way is a pretty cool litmus test for like where Oregon's at, right? I mean, I know Michigan's down this year, but like they went into the Big House and it wasn't even competitive. It hasn't been the last few times Oregon's played Michigan, to be fair, but like there was never competitive. Like it's wild.
This is a game that if this was not Big Ten, if this was SEC game, and that was Alabama, and they go into LSU, and let's say LSU's not very good that year, they would hype that up as a road win against LSU as a huge thing, because it doesn't really matter how bad that team is that year. Beating those kind of teams at home, no matter how you beat them, is a big win.
I think you don't just walk into,
Ann Arbor. That's
right.
I think Oregon already did it. Like, they already did that this year. Like, they beat Ohio State and they beat Boise. Like, they don't need to. They're already number one. Like, they don't need to do anything else this year, right? It's just keep winning your games and then maybe win the conference championship. You don't even have to do that, dude. Like, just
too bad. It's too bad Illinois just immediately went and dropped out of the top 20.
Well, yeah, it's Ski's body blow thing, right? Like,
jeez, man.
Yeah, Minnesota, not good.
Yeah,
not good.
And that's, like I said, the only thing the Ducks really needed to not have happen was what happened with Tez getting hurt.
Tez, yeah.
And again, it's not a factor the rest of the regular season. The Big Ten championship game, if they do handle business, the game's not going to matter really as much. My question then is the end is, are they a championship potential team without him in the playoffs?
No.
If he's not on the field. Yeah, because that's why I see it. He needs to be back for the playoffs. Doesn't matter.
I think yes. I think they are.
Yeah. See, the only reason I say no is because he is so good at just 3rd and 4.
I know.
He's the reason why that third down.
He just runs a 6-yard out like that.
Yeah.
No, I know. No. He has the LaMichael James factor in that regard. Like, remember, like Oregon at 3rd and 2, LaMichael would get a handoff and lower his head and get 2 yards. He knew how to find 2 yards. It was incredible. Like, Tez Johnson is that. Like, they throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage, he gets 4 yards every single time. It's ridiculous. Yeah. I know that, but also I know that Oregon is incredibly deep at that position, like the most we have ever seen. Maybe the most in the country, even without their best, like All-American wide receiver, best athlete on the team. Even without him, they still have Holden. They still have Evan Stewart. They still have Terrence Ferguson. They still, like, Gary Bryant Jr. is coming back. We don't know if he's actually going to be good, but he's coming back from injury. They still, like, Sadiq is coming into his own. Like, they still have James. Whittington is finally coming back from his injury and, like, is full speed. Like, they still have a billion guys who defenses can't stop. And so I know missing him is huge, but I still don't see a defense in the country that can stop him. They still have Dylan Gabriel, right? Like, who's going to stop him?
You need that playmaker in the big important games like the playoffs.
Punt return would be nice, but yeah,
that is big too. But like the rest of the way here, it doesn't matter. Like you said, they're so deep. It's almost better. I don't say better, but it doesn't hurt that he gets hurt because now Gary Bryant's going to get work back in. Yeah. Trayshawn Holden was running with the fucking 2nd and 3rd stringers for the last 2 games. He comes back with the injury and catches 6 balls and for 70, 80 yards.
No, it was 100. 149 actually. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah, it was that
best game of his career. Yeah.
So again, it doesn't matter for the next 6 to 8 weeks, whenever the first playoff game would happen. Yeah, but I'm just in my eyes, it's
maybe I think the first playoff game is like month 3 of Trump's.
Like 2 months. I know.
It's so fun. This season is wild.
I just disagree with you that in the playoffs, if they don't have Tez, I am not feeling as confident. I feel semi-confident depending on the matchups, but I wouldn't feel as confident if he's on the field with them.
And apparently they are going to have him. So this is probably not something we're going to have to worry about. And by the way, I didn't mention Justice Lowe either. Like Justice Lowe has had a fantastic last few weeks, and with other guys being out too, because we said this when Holden got suspended. It's like, oh, cool. Now Justice Lowe is actually getting some playing time, and he caught a touchdown against Illinois, and he's like a regular part of the offense now. Will he be when Tez comes back? Maybe not. Like, maybe Gary Bryant Jr. is going to step back into his role as the 3rd string receiver or whatever. Who the hell knows? But the point is they're so damn deep that they still, he got hurt on the first play from scrimmage. He caught the pass, got 11 yards, got tackled out of bounds, and never played again. and they still rolled Michigan. And Michigan, even without, the best corner in the country, is still a good defense. And Oregon still just moved the ball easily against them.
Well, that's why my question then also, what's the bigger injury? Is it him or is it a Harper injury?
I know. I was wondering that too. Yeah.
For at least the rest of the way, because that's the worry. Like I said, we don't worry about Oregon wide receivers. I worry about that Oregon interior offensive line. That's for sure. We saw those first 2 games. We know what could happen when that line's not clicking. So
Rodgers is replacing him. We've never seen Rodgers play before, other than in like some backup duties. So I don't know what it's gonna look like. I don't. Do we
even need to say Bedford's name again? Is he just?
He's still not practicing.
Just X him out done for this year. Just non-factor. Yeah.
I think so. Right. I mean, so again, the message with Harper is exactly the same as it was with Tez, right? Is they asked Lanning about, sort of this long-term status, and he said he doesn't think it's like with Birch, right? He doesn't think it's as bad as people were initially indicating. And so I think Tez is probably not the collarbone, because I think if it was the collarbone, they would have told us, and they would have been like, yeah, he's done for the season. But it's not. It sounds like a separated shoulder or something like that, which a guy can come back from in a few weeks. And Harper looked bad, right?
Harper's looked terrible.
He got hit on the side of his knee. It went the wrong way, and it looked terrible. But we're hearing it might not actually be. And that's sort of what we heard from Birch, right? Is he had a non-contact knee injury in practice, and you're like, oh, well, non-contact knee injury, he's done. And he wasn't. He came back and played sparingly last week. And so that's another big thing with the Michigan game is Birch and Ferguson both returned as well. So, I
told you those appendectomies, you bounce back real quick nowadays from them.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild. Like a surgery where they take something out of your body and you're back in 2 weeks playing football. That's wild.
Yeah. Some people may not have access to those anymore.
Yeah.
Sports.
I tell you what, he's not going to be able to afford it anymore. Better get that NIL money early, bud.
I guess you got something, King? I was gonna.
No, my whole thing is, I guess 2 things. The Alex Orgy experiment.
Woof.
One of the dumbest coaching decisions I've ever seen.
But just every time he came in, woof, you knew that they were running with him. They weren't throwing. And then
please throw the ball with him, please.
And his his second to last play coming in, he gets it and he runs to the right and he does throw it, I believe. But his running motion to sell the run as he's running backwards and setting his feet was so mechanical and terrible. No one fell for it. And then if you watch the latest Ducks versus them or whatever it's called, the coaches on the headset were like, trick play. There's no way he's throwing from the 10 on 4, whatever it was, on this 4th down. Trick play, and they ran a stupid trick play, and it never had a chance. And Sharon Moore, you want to know what? You're not very good.
No, I'd be surprised if he survives this year.
You had a bad day. You've had a bad year. But you didn't know timeouts. You ran trick plays. Take it one down.
I was going to do it too.
Turn it around.
Ooh, you had a bad day.
What a jam. Oh. But even that catch on the sideline by Loveland where they were begging him, challenge it. Yeah. He's got to listen to someone in the booth that's like, come on, man. It's not complete. It's not a completion. Don't challenge. You're going to lose.
And also the touchdown by Stewart, challenge it. So first of all, how does the Big Ten not do that?
Nice. Well, the Big Ten's camera was terrible.
Yeah. God, that's incredible because it wasn't even close to a catch. And by the way, more too, have somebody do something. It's a touchdown. It's worth it. The catch on the sideline, not worth it. This one, it's a touchdown.
Say the same thing about Lanning from the Ohio State game. It's like on that catch to start the game. I was like,
by the way, guys,
someone up there has to at least be like, hey, this is iffy. Let's get ready just in case.
It's a scoring play. Yeah. Like you review every scoring play, right? Guys, Big Ten officiating might be awful.
Like, it's terrible.
Might be.
Like on the Stewart catch we're talking about. Probably like in real time when they didn't have the camera look perfect, but at 100% afterwards, there was someone in the Big Ten office just being like, where is the moment we're needed the most? You kick up the leaves, but the magic is lost. You tell me your blue skies fade to gray. You tell me your passion's gone away. I don't need no carrying on. You gotta hit me. Cause
I don't even know what you're singing, bro.
I'm trying to figure out the song too.
You guys don't know the Bad Day song?
No. Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. I'm saying the Big Ten, the officiating.
You had a bad day.
You guys just know the hook.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Simps.
And while we're on Evan Stewart still, can we talk about the catch that didn't count?
Holy shit!
And how?
Okay. No. Like, what was your live reaction when that play happened?
Oh my God, that was a ridiculous catch, and he definitely got a foot in.
Literally yelled, "Holy shit!" I was like, I literally was like, "Holy shit! Did he fucking catch that?" Literally, I yelled that out loud in my house. But
then can we talk about the flag on the play?
Not a penalty.
Yes. Technically,
no.
Yes, technically it was. But my God, is there not just some semblance of just reading the room?
Logic.
The guy is 40 yards away from any other Michigan player, and he's walking. He's not actively in the play.
No.
And you throw the flag for him being downfield.
Gabriel rolls out to the left, sets up on the hash. Harper is on the complete opposite sideline.
He's damn near out of bounds.
There is not a Michigan player near him. He is not involved in the play whatsoever. Is he 5 yards down the field? Maybe. Okay, I guess. Is that a penalty? Technically, by the rule of the law, sure is. Fuck, man. Like, logic has to come in at some point, right?
We are a nation of laws.
Nation of laws. Thank you.
Nation of laws, and without following laws and all this stuff, nation goes to chaos. Just look at our latest presidential election. We are a nation of laws and law followers.
But also, it's in basketball, someone goes and posterizes someone. You can't call that. It doesn't matter. You just can't call it a charge.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. That you have to have some awareness of, oh my God, this is something they could play on highlight reels for years to come. Yeah. And you're flagging that like that.
I mean, that's why the Chiefs should have beat the Bills last year, because Travis Kelce threw it back to get Kadarius Toney, and he scored even though he was technically like lined up offsides. It's why I give the Chiefs the 2018-19 Super Bowl, because they picked off Tom Brady with the lead with the minute left, but D Ford was just a little offsides. It was a cool play. God damn it, D Ford.
Did they call a charge on that Mark Few's son getting dunked on? No.
No, they did not. No.
This is America. Damn it. We love posterizes. We love one-handed catches in the back of the end zone. By the way, 2 feet down as well. Like,
that catch is just going to be the Tim Walls of catches now. No one will ever remember that catch ever again. For how amazing the catch was.
Man, he was so great for that 10 seconds when he caught that ball and then yelled at the camera. And boy, when that penalty flag, I don't even know. Did Evan Stewart have a catch in that game?
Nope, I don't think he did.
I don't think he actually did, because a touchdown shouldn't have counted either. Oh boy. By the way, those do sort of even out, right? Like
I guess.
I guess it sort of makes sense.
I would take the other catch over the other one just for
Amen. God.
highlight purposes.
Legitimately, like, one of the best catches in Oregon history. Like, I was trying to think about that. Like what's his face? Carrington in the back of the end zone against Utah. Remember that one where he barely got his feet down on the pass from Herbert at the end of the game? Like, I'm trying to think of a more spectacular Oregon catch. I don't know that I can.
I mean, that all of a sudden that catch and that Whittington catch over that linebacker could be like the top 2 Oregon catches all time.
Yeah. Like the Stanford one, like the Vernon Adams one to Stanford in the back of the end zone against Arizona State was kind of big, but his own guy hit him. So, I mean, that's the only thing that made it difficult, but crazy play.
But on the game, though, I will say at least felt a little better with James's game this week than probably the last 3 weeks.
And the touchdown at the end to cover, right?
Get that nice cover. And again, that
did not need to score that touchdown whatsoever. But if you watch the Ducks versus them, it was the whole gladiator thing where they're doing the thumbs down, and he called a timeout before they scored the touchdown too, so they could watch everybody in the stands leaving. And that is
again on
textbook on running up that score, man.
On paper, when people completely forget about this game this week, you're going to look at that score and be like, "Hey, Oregon kicked the shit out of Michigan." Yeah. If you don't do that, like, "Oh, Michigan hung around with the number 1 team in the country." Yeah. See, different. That's why you score those points at the end of games.
Yep. And can I just say, like, the Oregon has, I know someone could throw in my face, "Oh, no, Natty," someone from
Natty.
Fucking Utah or Arizona State, UCF, Natty. But Oregon has 100% arrived at a place, because they did it in 2007 too, where they just go to Michigan and beat the shit out of the Wolverines, and we can nitpick it. Like, we can nitpick it. The third quarter stunk. Don't print the shirts. There's bigger things out there. Yeah. They went into Michigan Stadium, defending champions, and they beat the shit out of them. Their quarterback played better than he has all year in the games he's played. And you want to know what? It didn't fucking matter. They were never going to win.
Not at all.
Oregon was better. Oregon is better. They were never going to lose. And great. Cool. It's just interesting that, and all this stuff can change within a year, because you see where Michigan is now, as opposed to this time last year. But it's funny to me that, or not funny, but it's totally cemented in that, shit, man, Oregon just is a good football program.
Really good.
Like,
yeah.
They beat Ohio State and they beat Michigan within a month. Penn State hasn't done that in like 12 years or whatever it is, and they've done it twice in 20. Like, it's Oregon's a good football program.
My confidence is growing from week to week with this team. Like, I keep telling you guys how uncomfortable that makes me feel. But like, I am so confident in this Oregon football team right now, even without Tez Johnson, without Marcus Harper. Like, they are dominant. This is probably the most dominant Oregon football team we have ever seen.
And my thing is,
dominant.
Outside of a Dylan Gabriel injury, they're going to beat Maryland, they're going to beat Wisconsin, they're going to beat Washington. They lose to Ohio State in Indianapolis. Tough shit. Okay.
Indiana.
Okay. Whatever. Well, I mean, sure. Okay. Whatever.
Get out of here.
Whatever.
Indiana, by the way, I think they have like the number 1 rushing defense or something like that. Or it's like one of the defensive stats, like Indiana's number 1. Something like that. But they also haven't played anybody, so.
Yeah, their strength of schedule is.
But like, just because you're talking about confidence, whether Oregon is the number 1 seed because they just win their next 4, or they lose in Indianapolis and are the 5 seed, my confidence in them winning multiple games doesn't really go down all that much.
No. And I think that's how the media is portraying. I mean, have you guys remember a number 1 team in the country that is talked about less than the Ducks are right now?
Yeah, they're boring. They're boring.
It was just like, oh, ho hum. They just steamrolled Michigan. All right, move along. They're going to steamroll the next team probably, and then but hey, let's talk about Georgia. Let's talk about Texas A&M and shit like that. It's like, all right, cool, nice.
I will still have, before we move on from just the Michigan game, I still have I still have a little beef with the team, where it's, hey Dan, can you just be normal and let the quarterback pads a little bit of stats?
Just a little bit.
Because he's going to get to New York, but it is an insane, to me, it's an insanity that they're 9-0, right? 9-0, right? He hasn't even thrown 20 touchdown passes this year.
Yeah,
and I say that because, and I should fact check it, I guess, but I feel like in 2016 when Oregon went 4-8 and Justin Herbert supplanted Prukop like early September, I bet you he had 20 touchdowns at this point. Because I know he had like 5 against Cal, 6 against ASU. And Dylan is just like 1 a game, 2 a game, 3 total touchdowns. There's just they don't let him go bonkers. And again, they're dominant and they're boring, droning excellence right now. So it's for the good. But sometimes I'm like, God damn it, man. Can't
let him go 4 in the first half and then do that. How about that?
Exactly. Thank you.
Yo, so as we move on to a different thing, the Bengals scored a touchdown to tie Baltimore and went for 2. There's 38 seconds left in the game. They went for 2 to try to win it, and they didn't get it.
Right choice.
Wow.
Yep.
Right choice.
Balls. Pure balls.
The Ravens should have gone for 2 against the Chiefs.
Since we started this podcast, Jamar Chase caught 2 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
He just got a casual 264 receiving yards.
Oh, is that all?
3 touchdowns.
Yeah, Bengals held both of, or the Ravens held both of the tight ends for the Bengals and no penalty flags. All right, let's do lines. Anything else before we get to lines? I mean, the men's basketball played. Nope. No. Ski, do you want to give us like a Ski? Give us. You were at the game, right? Oregon beat UC Riverside 91-76. Give us like a 1-minute breakdown of Oregon beating UC Riverside.
This team as a whole is going to be fun I think they're going to score a lot of points this year, this team.
I like that.
I think they're going to give up a lot of points this year as well. It's going to bet the over every time you see Oregon Ducks playing basketball this year because they don't have much size and they don't play great defense. But some of these new guys can score the ball. Bamba is a hell of a player for them to get.
So Bamba had 12 and 7 in this game. Kwame Evans got a career high with 23. I saw.
Yeah, he looked good.
Yeah. So who's Brandon Angel? Never heard of this person.
He's a Stanford transfer.
And when you see him, you'll go, "Oh yeah, he looks like a Stanford guy."
Yeah,
he looks like a Stanford guy. Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
He had 17. So they got guys who can fill it. Biddle had a double-double. How's he looking?
Yeah, Biddle had one of the worst looking double-doubles I've ever seen. Yeah, I said he's real close to having a skullet going. His top of his dome not doing great.
Is it time to make a decision like I made?
No, because he can still fake it with some. He has a little curl, a little bit, but the arena lights don't do it any favors.
No, it does not.
And like Ski say, he's doing the thing where he's doing like the artistic long mullet and big on top. Like he looks like Mike Gundy. He's got the Mike Gundy haircut.
Yep.
So
it's just Mike Gundy just has much more hair.
Could make it work. Ski put his hat on. You should have seen Ski's hat before, or Ski's hair before he put.
I saw him.
Boy, it's flock of seagull stuff going on right now. Like
very, very 90s emo pop. The way he was throwing those bangs down.
All of it.
It's just WCP watching right now. You might as well
swing by the toe of my heart.
Ooh, it's good stuff, my guy.
Can you help me find a way?
Let's do lines.
Carry on again. Lines everywhere. Lines.
I don't know if I want to do lines this week.
Everywhere lines. Why don't you want to do lines, Ski?
Let's see. You went 7-1 this week.
Oh, interesting. Oh, must be pretty good at picking
8
games.
points.
Huh.
I had 5 points. King had 4 points. So now you are up 7 on King. Oof. And 11 on me.
Can you imagine if Arizona was still in Oregon's league, how bad Braga's record would be?
It'd be
they're 2-8. Trust me.
My cats.
They're turning it around.
They're gonna figure it out.
We're gonna get it in Orlando. Trust me.
And see, unfortunate thing, you got your team here, King. Your Bruins. They're at home. They're 5.5-point dogs to your other team, Iowa.
Man, it's a tough one. You want to know what? I'm gonna shock the world.
8 clap.
Oh.
Bruins.
8 clap.
They're gonna stop the run.
They're kind of figuring it out, right? Like,
but they haven't been playing awful lately.
Yeah.
It's not been great, but it hasn't been awful.
Like after it's like the opposite of the Oregon effect. Like after they played the Ducks, they kind of started to figure things out and started actually scoring on people. Iowa. Yes, Iowa for me, please. I'll take an Iowa.
Man, I hate to say this. I'm jumping on board with King. Iowa traveling to the West Coast. UCLA playing okay. 8 clap that bitch up. All right. Oh God, this is a game. Purdue's 37.5-point underdogs at Ohio State.
Buckeyes.
This is a conference game where someone is favored by almost 5.5 touchdowns.
Buckeyes.
Yeah, Ohio State.
Yeah. Oh God. Let's just move on from that.
Oh, yeah.
Next game, Gophers, 6.5-point favorites. They're going to Rutgers.
Yeah, Minnesota.
I'll start off. I'm star picking Minnesota.
Yeah. That was a pretty convincing win over Illinois.
I thought early on, you guys picked Illinois and I picked Minnesota. I was like, oh God, I'm going to claw my way back this week. And I proceeded to lose like 3 straight games.
Does it make a difference that it's November Rutgers as opposed to
November?
October?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know what the temps are going to be like.
It's been like 80 degrees in New Jersey this week.
All right, then I'm happy with Minnesota. Then yes.
Yeah, I'm also taking them. Obviously.
Yeah, I'll go Gophers.
Yeah. All right.
Tim Walz needs something this week.
Yeah.
Pray for Walz.
I'm gonna back my theory on this game. Michigan, they're 14.5-point dogs going to Indiana. Give me Indiana after that game, after the Ducks just wear down Michigan.
Yeah, Indiana star pick for me. Wow, are we gonna be in a world where Indiana's 10-0? Like,
just to be different, I'll say Michigan.
Okay.
Michigan.
No conviction, 0, none.
It's gonna be 14.
All right, and here's the kind of I think this is where some of us are going to gain points and the others. UW, 13.5-point dogs going to Penn State. I'm going to take the Huskies. I think
it's
Penn State.
Game. It's the whiteout game.
It is. But see, here's the thing: UW will statistically and score-wise be in this game. Are they going to give up some garbage time, kind of like Miami does? Are they going to somehow give up a lead and lose by over 14 in the final 10 minutes? I don't think Penn State can do that. So give me UW.
I'm going to say Penn State. UW's been bad on the road.
I think Washington beats them.
Oh,
I know that goes directly against how I've been betting Washington and Penn State this year. I know. I got a hunch this week. I don't know what it is, but I think Washington beats them. Like this, I think it's going to be like a big like signature win for Fish. Yeah. I don't know.
I will say this. Penn State can't lose this game. I think if they lose this game, I think they are done for the playoffs. Yeah. They can hold on and kind of finish out how they should. I mean, they don't play anyone good really either. I think they sneak in. So this might be their biggest game of the year, right?
They played Ohio State tough, but they also got beat up because they played Ohio State. So, again, it could be a body blow thing where now they're going against Washington. By the way, Washington's pretty physical too. Sort of take it to them. Yeah. Who knows, man? We'll see. I got Washington, though. Yep.
All right, last game, Ducks are...
WCP says Braga trying to go full Galaxy brain. Yep.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Ducks 20. 24.5 point favorites.
What's
Ducks
that?
star pick.
Say it
Ducks
again?
star pick.
24.5 points. The Ducks.
And King said star pick. I got Oregon. Yep. I'm not picking against Oregon until they give me a reason to.
Well, I think if you look at statistically against the spread, they haven't been that good this year.
Yeah.
But
Maryland, speaking of not
Maryland
good.
is, yeah. And this is the other one. Maryland has to travel across the entire fucking country to play this game. Yeah, give me Ducks landslide.
7 p.m. their time kickoff. Right?
Total landslide.
Yeah.
It's a landslide.
All right. We all got Oregon. Fair enough. How much do I lead right now, by the way, Ski?
That's, I don't know. We're still tabulating the votes. They're not in yet.
Okay.
We'll see what next week they get them all in.
King still might win the popular vote.
Yeah.
All right.
100%. Come on.
100%.
All right, let's do trivia. Maryland trivia. Like these get worse as we go on. This amount of shit we know about these teams.
This might be the worst thing of the conference realignment is
it's
us
trivia.
having to learn about these fucking shitheel fucking schools.
You're telling me, man. You don't even have to compile these fucking things. All right, Maryland trivia. Ski won last week. Ski gets to go first this week. If you have not seen us do trivia before, I'm going to give Ski a question. Ski has an opportunity to answer that question. If he gets it wrong, King has an opportunity to steal the point with a multiple choice. It is best out of 10. There are only 10 questions. So, as what happened last week, Ski did not actually get best out of 10. He got 3, King got 2, and we ran out of questions. So, Ski won by default, basically. All right, Ski. By the way, this is the first time Oregon and Maryland have ever played each other. Ever. That's a lot of years of both of those schools existing and having a football program, and they have never played until 2024. It's kind of wild. Ski, what is the name of Maryland's Terrapin mascot? It is also the name of the statue the players walk through Terp Alley to touch before every home game. There's the turtle. What's the name of the mascot?
Yeah. It's a good thing when we went over, I think we were doing Big Ten mascots, the worst ones. I picked this one. So it's Tetsudo.
It is Testudo. That is the name of Maryland's mascot. That is correct. I also had Terrence or Trevor as options. But yeah, Testudo. Good work. Good memory. King, what is the current name of Maryland's stadium?
Seriously?
Yeah. Do you know?
No.
Okay.
FECU Credit Union Bank Arena Field.
Okay, say that again.
I don't know. I don't.
What you just said, say it again.
FECU Credit Union Stadium.
I kind of want to give this to you. Because if I give the options to Ski, he's definitely gonna
get it.
I'm giving it to you. It is SECU Stadium.
That's close.
Which is State Employees Credit Union. So you get it. You know what? Like,
I think so.
I think that counts. And
we'll see by the end when the scores are at.
We'll see how much it actually matters.
Next question, Ski. What color is their red helmet?
Yeah, what does it say on their helmets? Ski, who is Maryland's all-time leader in passing yards and touchdowns?
About the last one, was it Tulia Tagovailoa?
That is correct.
That's a good guess. That's got to be it.
Oh, it is, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
There are actually some like pretty decent quarterbacks who went there. Like Boomer Esiason went to Maryland.
Frank Reich.
Neil O'Donnell went to Maryland.
Wow.
Yeah, Tua or not Tua. Taulia. It's Taulia. The records by a lot. Like a lot. 11,200. Yeah, 11,200 yards is 4,000 more than the next guy. 76.
Was he the one?
76 touchdowns is 27 more than the next guy. So
damn.
Yeah.
Was he the one trying to get eligibility this year too?
Yes.
Again.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He plays in the CFL, by the way. I forget which team, but I definitely saw that on Wikipedia.
Bomber Cats.
Sounds about right. The Bomber Cats. Yep.
Elks.
The Elks.
Yeah. Edmonton Elks.
Yep.
Got a lot of Elks. Edmonton Elks.
Saskatchewan Tigers.
Rough Riders.
Rough Riders.
Definitely the Rough Riders. Which, by the way, doesn't make any sense. Like, that's our shit. That's Teddy Roosevelt, dog. Like, what are you doing? Who do you think you
What's
are?
an Argonaut, by the way?
Isn't that like?
Is
that like a Russian astronaut?
I know. I mean, they're from Toronto. Yeah. They don't go to space, do they?
No, they definitely don't go to space.
We in America, we barely
zero space program.
Come on.
Canada's not big into space.
Space is dumb. Space is fake.
Yeah, space is fake. The British aren't real. Birds definitely aren't real.
No, birds are definitely fake.
That we've established. Turtles, very real. Ski leads 2-1 now. We are going back to King. King, what city is the University of Maryland located in?
College Park.
That's correct. All right. We're tied at 2. Back to ski. Nobody's gotten one wrong yet. Back to ski. Alumni question. This actor, writer, producer, comedian graduated from Maryland in 1970. He is known for his improv style and producing and writing 2 of the most famous comedy shows ever. Who is he?
So he went to school 70. I mean, he's born 50s. That means he's in his mid-70s. Just comedy shows? Like for TV? Are they televised comedy shows?
Yes. Yeah. 2 of the most famous comedy shows ever. Producing and writing them. And he's known for his improv style.
Yeah.
Scott Van
Bell. He did go to Maryland. Yeah.
How about Dick Van Dyke? Oh, there you go.
Incorrect. Your options, King. Drew Carey, Larry David, or Stephen Colbert?
Larry David?
Larry David is the correct answer. Yeah.
Age-wise, it fits.
Yeah, it fits. I had no idea he went to Maryland.
I didn't either. Yeah, who knew? Got his degree from there and everything. All right, so back to you, King. You now lead 3-2. Maryland has actually had some really good wide receivers over the years. Who is their all-time leader in catches, yards, and touchdowns?
I don't think this is right, but it's the only one I can fully name off. I'll just say Stephon Diggs.
That is incorrect. Your options, Ski, Stephon Diggs, DJ Moore, or Jermaine Lewis?
Come on, Jermaine.
I'll go Jermaine Lewis. I don't think it's DJ Moore. I thought it was Stephon Diggs, though, too. So,
yeah, that's the correct answer. DJ Moore and Stephon Diggs only went there for 3 years, or they would own all of the records.
When did this other guy play?
Jermaine Lewis. Remember, he was like the kick returner for the Ravens when they won the Super Bowl.
Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Remember that guy?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah, so he actually set the ACC record with 193 career catches.
ACC.
Mm-hmm.
ACC.
Yep. Ended up, he won the Super Bowl with the Ravens and was an All-Pro in 1998 as a kick returner. So,
so long ago.
There you go. So tied at 3, we go back to Ski. This is actually like, you guys have a lot of points here. You're actually getting answers correct, so nice work. You're probably not going to get this one. The most decorated NFL player to ever come from Maryland played defense in the 70s for the Cowboys. He was a 9-time All-Pro, Super Bowl MVP, named to the NFL's 100th anniversary all-time team, and is a college and NFL Hall of Famer. Who is he?
Oh, Maryland.
Legitimately one of the best NFL players ever. Went to Maryland. And you
70s cowboy. All right. I don't remember 70s Cowboys.
Why would you?
Somebody didn't stay home from school and watch all those NFL Films videos.
I literally have no idea. I know one defenseman, Sean Merriman.
Defenseman? This guy's been watching too much hockey, man. Like, what are you doing? Playing behind the blue line? Sean Merriman did not play in the NFL in the 70s. He did go to Maryland, though.
That's all I got.
All right, King, your options. Mel Renfro, Randy White, or Charles Haley?
Charles Haley.
Incorrect. The answer is Randy White.
Because Haley played in like the 90s. Got into the 90s.
He did.
I thought Randy White was like much older than that, actually.
Nope. Played in the 70s.
You want to know? I'm thinking of Randy Cross, the guy who does CBS college football.
guy?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. God damn it.
All right, so we are going back to King now. Tied at 3. King, this creator, artist, actor, writer, performer graduated from Maryland with, oddly enough, a Bachelor of Science. He went on to create some of the most beloved and revered children's characters and entertainment to ever exist in TV and film. Your parents watched him. You watched him. Your kids watched him. Who is he?
What were his accolades again? That was a little wordy.
He created some of the most beloved and revered children's characters and entertainment to ever exist, TV and film.
No idea. Just pass.
Everybody on Earth has watched his stuff.
I don't doubt that.
Okay.
Hans Zimmer.
Well, I mean, that's music.
Good guess.
Yes,
good guess.
You got me. You're on to me.
All right, Ski. Your options: Walt Disney, Jim Henson, or John Lasseter.
Jim Henson.
That is the correct answer. Jim Henson went to Maryland. Jim Henson and Larry David.
Jim Henson died.
Huh?
Like 92?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Just. You want to know what? I think.
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't watch Sesame Street? You've never watched the Muppets? You don't watch Kermit? Yeah, okay.
I have. I don't think my kids have ever watched the Muppets.
Bullshit.
See, the science kid was on, man. What the fuck you talking about?
Fuck those Muppets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think what were they on OPB?
Yeah, bro.
PBS?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
We got Disney. We got the Disney Channel now, man.
Nickelodeon too, man. Yeah, what are we doing?
Yeah,
you got Bluey. You got Bluey now. Kids ain't watching Kermit.
You got Bluey.
Yeah. My kid was watching Teen Titans Go, so like whatever. All right, Ski leads 4-3.
Before we move on, what was the cartoon where it was 100 and some days till summer vacation? Remember that show? 10 years ago? Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. Phineas and Ferb. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah. SpongeBob was a thing for a while, too. I don't know if anybody's heard of SpongeBob. Yeah. All right. Ski with a chance to win, leading 4-3. Maryland has won 3 bowl games in a row under Mike Loxley. The New Era Pinstripe Bowl, 21. The Duke's Mayo Bowl in 22. And last year, the Trans Perfect Music City Bowl. Who did they beat in the Trans City Music City Bowl 31-13?
Sounds like, ooh. I don't know. I'm gonna guess UAB.
That is incorrect.
Brent Dilfer and UAB.
Your options, King, to tie. Auburn, Tulsa, or Kentucky?
What was the bowl game again?
The Trans Perfect Music City Bowl.
Oh, I'm going to say that feels like a Kentucky game.
It was Auburn. Sorry, boys.
Oh.
No, I was just thinking SEC ties.
Yep. Guess they can handle that SEC speed. All right, King, you have a chance to tie it, and it will just end in a tie if you get this one.
Oh, please, God.
Maryland's all-time winningest head coach.
Charlie Chaplin. Oh, they're all-time. Fuck. I can name I can name 3 of their head coaches ever.
Right?
So I'll just say Ralph Regent.
Incorrect. Your option, Ski. You officially win, by the way.
Well, I'm going to say Matt Canada.
Nope.
Because he was like the interim coach 4 years ago.
Yeah, I think he played. I think he coached like half a season.
Yeah.
The answer is Curly Bird. Yeah.
The fakest fucking name I've ever heard.
This is just garbage.
Fucking Maryland boys.
Bird.
It's Maryland boys.
Jim Henson.
Yeah, who's ever heard of Jim Henson, right? WCP got Jim Henson, by the way.
Yeah, whatever, Jim Henson. Like I said, I was watching See the Science Kid and Jim Henson. Get out of here.
Curly Bird, the stadium used to be named after him. It used to be Bird Stadium, and then in 2015 they changed it because they realized that he was racist. Big racist.
What was the years he was coaching?
Oh yeah, it was like it was a little bit after that. But yeah, he went 88, 70, and 14 fucking ties. But yeah, he was also president of the school, and I read about this. Was a proponent of separate but equal status in terms of racial segregation. So can't be intertwining. But you'll definitely have the same rights. Totally. Yeah. So yeah, stadium is no longer named after him.
Sounds like a good guy, right?
Did you know that Maryland won a national title?
Yeah, 1930.
1949.
They claim 1953.
They said.
Even though they lost their last game of the season, which was the Orange Bowl to Oklahoma. So there you go.
God,
yeah, that's a national title.
You lose the Orange Bowl, you lose your last game, but you still get voted AP national champion.
Yep. Hang that banner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do they have that banner hung?
I bet they do, actually. That's their AP.
No, I bet you it's
AP
a
national
number
champs.
on the facade. Yeah.
A little facade number. Yeah.
Coaches voted him number 1 as well. So that's all there was until like the fucking 90s, right? So hang that banner. All right, let's do our list. Our list came from Nathan FKD in our Discord in honor of Sherry's closing down for good. If you do not know what Sherry's is, good for you. But they were a
pies and video lottery place.
Yeah, chain restaurant. They were famous for their pies. Chicken fried steak was the jam back when I was like in my 20s. But yeah, they also were known for their lottery. You go in and get a slice of pie, get a shake or something, play some video poker, be on your way. Apparently that's why they shut down, is because they were no longer paying the Oregon lottery.
Yeah.
So Oregon lottery is like, well, you are not going to exist anymore.
Yeah, you do not want to go against Oregon lottery. My God.
No, sir. So our list is top 3 restaurants you're surprised still exist.
I'll start it off.
Yeah,
I'll start it off. My number 3, and I did fact check that the 3 I picked are still located in places.
Yep.
My number 3 is Fuddruckers.
You ever been to one?
One time, and it was bad for that kind of chain restaurant. Bad. So.
Yeah.
And a very bad name. No one wants to eat at a place called Fuddruckers.
Amazing. Like it's got to be somebody's name, right? Like it's the Bill Fuddrucker. And they're like, like my family started this restaurant in the 20s, and it just been blah 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 blah. And back when Fuddrucker like wasn't a funny thing in the 20s or whatever, but yeah. So is my number 3? Does this count? Wetzel's Pretzels. Does that count?
It's
That's not really a restaurant. It's like a mall place, right? Like
pretty national.
Because I almost went with like Sbarro's too, but that's like a mall place too. But yeah, Wetzel's Pretzels, like you get a pretzel. Like I don't know if there's been a time in my life when I've like, man, I am dying for a pretzel. Like, can I get a big pretzel and some mustard? Like, I've never thought that in my life.
If I'm at a restaurant that's got some like beer cheese I could dip it in, I'll fucks with those pretzels. Maybe. But I don't need to eat a pretzel as I'm jaunting my way over to Lids and GameStop.
Yeah, you know what's also good with beer cheese? Fries. Get fries and dunk them in beer cheese. Like, I don't need a pretzel, like, ever. Like, I don't know. It's weird that they still exist because that is so specific. Like, how many people are wanting a pretzel enough to keep Wetzel's Pretzels alive?
Well, the question is, are they only located in malls?
I don't know. I feel like I've seen a brick and mortar before.
Maybe an airport Wetzel's Pretzel.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, what you got, King?
I read it wrong, and I went super local. So my list is bad. Eugene, carry on. Go on.
It's Eugene places that you're surprised are still.
No, I said I read it wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you can still do it.
Yeah, you want
Chili? Sure, Chili's.
There you go. Yeah. Chili's is your
now my half-ass list.
3, 2, and 1. Yeah, no, Chili's works.
Exclude me from this, you two.
Chili's works, dude. Like,
yeah. No, I know why Chili's is still open.
Yeah, we get it.
I get it.
We get it. Yeah. Well, you're not alone. WCP in the chat says his number 3 is can't think of one. So this might be just a Ski and I list because nobody else is in the chat either. So
yeah, I read it wrong. I went back and just like, oh shit, I just read that wrong.
No, you're fine. All right, what you got, Ski?
My number 2, Blackjack Pizza.
They still exist?
Still exists in like Florida, in like down the SEC.
They exist in Florida, okay.
In Georgia, Alabama, down in the southeast. But my God, it was literally the worst. I don't know how. There's a reason why I don't think it lasted long in Eugene when it was here.
Worst pizza ever.
By far.
Truly terrible.
Yeah.
It's so hard to fuck up pizza too. It's amazing.
Even Totino's did it better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Little Barons. Little French bread pizza.
Nobody should make that face when talking about that pizza.
Red Baron. Oh, so good.
All right, my number 2 is Long John Silver's. I don't get it.
Fast food fish, baby.
I love how Long John Silver's is also one of those places that is now shared with KFCs or McDonald's or Subways. Yeah. It's
what was worse in your eyes, Long John Silver's or Skipper's?
Long John Silver's.
Yeah.
You think that was still worse than Skipper's?
Yeah, I feel like Skipper's at least had some big brick and mortar places for longer.
Well, the Long John Silver's here was the West 11th one with the huge anchor, right?
Anchor. Yeah.
That then Hawaiian Time repurposed for a little while.
Yeah. It was a Taco Del Mar in between.
Mm-hmm. It was. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, our short-lived Taco Del Mar in Eugene.
I did like Taco Del Mar. I will say.
All right, so no number 2 for you. Number 2 from WCP is Still Got Nothing. All right.
My number 2, I misread the list. Mr. K's. One try and he got you.
Mr. K's? What's Mr. K's?
Oh, it's an old... I bet you if someone wants to Google Eugene Valley River Center, Mr. K's, it was just this guy who was a diner, and he would look in the camera with a cup of mud. One try, and we got you.
Diner in a mall. Woof.
Yeah, no, diner, red seats, leather, the whole, paper hats.
Oh yeah.
Woof.
All right. So they're trying to be like Jamie's. Was that kind of its aesthetic?
To the max.
Yeah, to the max.
Right. Everybody was trying to be Jamie's for a while.
Speaking of the max, Zach and Kelly, what a couple.
No. All right. My number 1, I think I have brought this up on some lists before. Don't remember when. My number 1 chain restaurant that I don't know how it's still alive and going is Blimpies. How
so
can a
much
place
lettuce.
that gives you a mountain of lettuce and then just drowns it in vinegar and oil, just drowns it in that.
On the shittiest bread. It's literally the puffiest, airiest bread. 9 pounds of shredded lettuce, a pound and a half of oil and vinegar, 9 pounds of pickles, and then you get a couple slices of meat and cheese.
Yep.
The sandwich is mostly air and lettuce.
On that note, I did write down Sub Shop. Not the same, not as exaggerated as Blimpies, but
Blimpies. And Blimpies. I did look up. There's still like 175 locations.
Is there still a Blimpies off of I-5? Like going north?
I don't think there are any left in Oregon.
I remember stopping there a few times.
Which, God, if I ever see a Blimpies, I think I have to go get a sandwich.
1,000%.
Yeah, I have to see if they just ate just that mountain of lettuce.
If it's off a freeway, it's not going to be good. Like, it just know that.
Hey, lettuce travels because
lettuce does travel.
I'm a proponent of lettuce as a filler, but my God, Blimpies, calm down.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love me some greens, but it shouldn't be the whole sandwich. My number one is Taco Time. Like, yeah. And by the way, that's
I haven't been in so long.
WCP actually said Taco Time for his number one as well. Like, yeah, when was the last time you went to a Taco Time? Like,
I got some of those like crispy rolled burritos like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
I was coming back in from like up the Mackenzie and going through Springfield. There's that one right before you hit the bridge there, getting back into town.
There's 3 in the area. Like
there's one way out west 11th, way out there.
That's the last one I went to, and I feel like I went to that one the last time when we all thought Mitt Romney was an existential threat to American democracy.
Right? God.
Jesus Christ, were we weird?
Can you imagine a Mormon president? Holy crap! Like,
oh my God, fiscal conservative. Holy shit!
I will push back on it that I get that. How are they still operational? But Taco Time's not bad. It's not bad food, is the thing.
Yeah, but like you just don't go there.
I just don't go.
And you don't know anyone who does. Like, how are they still in business?
No, I see it sometimes when I go to that Walmart.
I think there's one out Delta too.
No one is ever at the West 11th one. Ever.
No, it's a front. And even their regional office, which used to be booming, has been a veterinarian's office across the street for like 10 years. Yeah. It just, Taco Time is a front.
Did you know that they were founded in Eugene?
I did.
I didn't know that. Like, I looked them up, and I was like, oh, wow. I didn't know they were actually based here. And there's still a ton of restaurants, like, around the Northwest, like West Coast, and
Did you know that, Wayne? I was not aware of that.
I was not aware of
that. So all right, that's our list. Anything else? We good? All right. Let's
before we move on, are you guys a little surprised Arby's is still thriving? $19 Jamocha milkshakes.
They have good advertising.
The potato cakes are only around every couple of years. Arby's melts, let's be frank. I know. Pretty disgusting.
They got curly fries.
Pretty nasty.
They got curly fries.
Curly fries are good.
Mm-hmm.
Curly fries are good. I like their original roast beef. Love me some horsey sauce. Yeah. But roast beef gets a real bad rap as a white person thing.
It does.
Yeah, again, like, I don't know.
So I feel like white people are afraid to go there.
I don't know anybody who goes there. Again, like, who goes there?
I went there a month ago because I heard the little.
Well, there you go.
The potato cakes were back.
You're keeping them in business. It's you.
No, so I didn't get anything.
Oh.
I was like, I don't want a $25 Jamocha milkshake. I have a mortgage and student loan payments, sir. I cannot afford this in this economy, and I will be leaving.
Who do you think I am?
You're not going to have Medicare. You're not going to have Social Security here. You
have Social Security. I can't buy these $27 potato cakes. You're telling me you had a third? Ooh.
I will say when America was great again, back when we were in high school, you could go get like 2 beef and cheddars for $3 back in the early 2000s. And then at that time, with those prices, hey, Arby's is fantastic.
back when men could be men and just do locker room talk and call Arby's roast beef Arabies. We were we were so edgy. Arabies.
You could
get the Arabies ball with all the aluminum, so great. Good
if someone was real edgy, they could call the female anatomy an Arby's roast beef sandwich, back in those days. Those edgy days, the early 2000s.
This is me putting the mic away. Yeah, have fun with that one, Ski.
Yeah. Early 2000s, baby. You can say whatever you want back then. America was great.
That's awesome.
Us and Arabies were the original Theo Von, let me tell you.
By the way, 2 for $3 Famous Stars back then, too. Fuck, we were living the dream.
Everything.
God, we were living the dream.
29-cent hamburger and 30-cent cheeseburger at McDonald's.
99-cent spicy chickens. Oh, baby.
I'm not even saying this to be like an edgelord. Sometimes I've wondered, because you're just rattling off these boards from restaurants. Yeah. If Osama bin Laden knew what our food was like in 2001 and the price, I don't think he would have flown into the towers.
I don't either.
I think that would have erased the hate.
Yeah, no, this is what everybody should aspire to. Is 2 Famous Stars for $3 and 99-cent spicy chicken sandwiches. The dollar menu at McDonald's?
Yeah, I was a dollar millionaire back in the day.
An entire family could go into Hardee's. An entire family of 4 could go to Hardee's. Come out, $20 slider. Everyone's full. You got leftovers for the youngest kid.
Eat like kings for $20.
Kings.
Oh, WCB 99-cent double-decker tacos. Absolutely.
I do love how Taco Bell is doing the decades thing.
I'm so close to getting that. I'm so close. I haven't done it yet.
Did they drop those prices to the decade level as well?
No.
You silly fool!
Capitalism, yay!
Yeah.
Bin Laden did not fly into the towers for us to lower our fast food prices.
No, he did not.
Please. I think even Bin Laden believes in capitalism. Come on, bud. All right, let's end the podcast. How about that?
Let's do it.
Movie on Sunday is Bad Boys 4. It's Bad Boys Ride or Die. Is what it's called. It is on Netflix, so watch it and listen to us talk about it. Oregon plays Maryland on Saturday at 4. Somebody just drew a dick in our podcast. That's kind of really funny. Or in our chat. If you feel so inclined. Oh, okay. Now we're all right. Whatever. All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We'll see you on Sunday. Whatever. Go Ducks. King also drew a dick. Okay. Bye.